for some covered samples.
Yeah, some dainties.
Yeah.
Okay, the camera is on, so, it is just after 2, and I would like to call the meeting to order, and please remember, the meeting is being recorded, so, people can watch it either later or whenever they so wish, but the first thing I'm going to ask is for an adoption of the agenda resolution, please.
Resolve the agenda for the meeting to be adopted as circulated with the noted additions. Communication for action 5.6, Family Library, Gator Family Library, Hard Hat event. And new other business 6.5, request for noise extension, and 6.6, regional lagoon expansion.
Thank you for that. Can I have a mover? Councillor Bazarowicz, Councillor Belanger seconds, and is there anything else that we have to talk about?
Just a couple of issues in camera, if I could, just regarding a couple of the emails that we got from Deepak.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I think they're in camera anyway.
Are they all good?
I thought they were, yeah, so.
And one of them we'll be discussing when Kevin's here, if that's one that you're referring to. I think, yeah.
Yeah, and I think Kevin is coming when we are in camera, so. Go ahead, Councillor Sutherland, what did you?
Camera, I'd like to bring something also.
Okay, is it about a resident concern?
And, yes,
Okay.
and Lebo.
Okay, thank
It's
you for
against
that. Yeah,
Okay,
anything else?
I got something too I'd like to bring since.
What would you like to bring up
It's
today?
about somebody requesting for a subdivision in East
So what do you want to
Well,
bring forward, like just to talk about it?
Yeah, just to
or-
let you know about it, but I had a meeting with them the other day.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess just a proposed subdivision.
Yeah. Since everybody else is bringing it.
Well, that's kind of not usually, but that's okay. Okay, I have a mover, I have a seconder, there's a number of additions, so I will call the question if there's nothing else. All in favor, opposed, carried.
Glenn wants to.
Our next resolution is for the minutes, and if I could have that resolution, please.
resolve the minutes of the May 12th regular meeting of council and May 19th committee of the whole be adopted as presented.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, second, please. Councillor Strang, any discussion or corrections or changes to those minutes? Not seeing any hands go up, so I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. And we can go to communications for action, and the first item we have is the Red River Basin Commission, North Chapter meeting, and that is going to go up. Call question on favor, so, and that is not sure who's all interested. And we can go to communications for action, if we just leave it as mayor and council, that should work, but you have to Basin Commission. You should be letting the office
North
know,
chapter
so that
meeting,
they
and
have
that is
some
going to
interest.
go up.
Go ahead, Councillor
All
Strang, all in favor? Yeah, I am too, so I'm not sure who's all interested. And we can go to, so, I think if we just leave it as mayor and council,
Resolve mayor
that
and
should
council
work,
to
but
authorize
we
chapter
have to
meeting
base
for the
the plan
Basin
on-
Commission.
you should be letting the office
meeting
chapter
as the
meeting, and that is
organization.
going to us. Go ahead, Councillor Strang, all in favor? Yeah, I am too, so I'm not sure who's all. Can I have a and we can go to, so, after that,
Resolved by
that
the
should
council
work,
to
but we
authorize
have to
chapter
base
meeting
the
for the
plan
Basin
on-
Commission.
you should be letting the
Chapter
office
meeting
chapter
as the
meeting, and that is
organization.
going to us. Go ahead, Councillor Strang, all in favor? Yeah, I am too, so I'm not sure who's all. Can I have a and we can go to, so, after that, any further discussion?
Resolved by
That
the
should
council
work,
to
but we
authorize
have to
chapter
base the
meeting for the
plan
Basin
on-
Commission.
you should be letting the office chapter meeting, and that is going to us. Go ahead, Councillor Strang, all in favor? Yeah, I am too, so I'm not sure who's all. Can I have a and we can go to, so, after that, any further discussion?
Resolved by
That
the
should
council
work,
to
but we
authorize
have to
chapter
base the
meeting for the
plan
Basin
on-
Commission.
you should be letting the office chapter meeting, and that is going to us. Go ahead, Councillor Strang, all in favor? Yeah, I am too, so I'm not sure who's all. Can I have and we can go to, so, after that, any further discussion?
Thank you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. We have a few planning items that we have to deal with, but we have been here since 2 o'clock this afternoon and dealt with our general municipal business. But before we get going, I would like to have a resolution to come out of camera, please.
Resolved that as per section 152(4) of the Municipal Act, Council of the Rural Municipality Supplements is now resumed sitting at regular meeting.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Spicer, Counselor Bazarovic seconds. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Okay, the first item in our planning issues today is a conditional use that was held over from last meeting. And we understand that the application has been revised, and I'm not sure if the applicant is in the audience this evening. I don't believe so. So it is our understanding that because the application has been revised, it will again be adjourned till the June 23rd meeting. And we will be bringing a resolution forward to deal with it at that, to move it to that meeting. So if I could ask, Valentina, you didn't want to speak to this one at all, did you? No. So I will ask Heather to please read the resolution and we'll move forward from there.
Whereas the public hearing for conditional use application 6/2026 was adjourned at the April 28th, 2026 meeting of council, and whereas council requested that this matter be brought back to the May 26th, 2026 meeting of council, and whereas amendments have been made to the application, therefore be resolved the council adjourn the public hearing for conditional use 6/2026 to June 23rd, 2026 meeting of council.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Sutherland, Counselor Strang seconds. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Okay, so moving on, the next item we have on our agenda is for a variation. Before we do that, I am going to ask Kayla to read the rules for the public hearings this evening.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Good evening, everyone. Council wishes to thank you for taking an interest in what is happening in your municipality by attending this evening. The purpose of these public hearings is to receive representations from the applicant as well as any persons who also wish to make representation on what is being proposed tonight. We will first hear from the applicant and then from those present who wish to make representation. This will start with anyone who would like to speak in favor of the proposal, followed by those who are opposed to or object to the proposal. At your opportunity to speak, please come to the podium and begin by stating your full name and address for the record. Anyone speaking must address the chair of the meeting. If they have questions that they think the applicant should answer, they should raise them in their presentation to the chair. At the end of all the presentation, the applicant will have an opportunity to respond to any questions or concerns that were raised. Please note, members of council may ask for clarification from persons speaking on any fact or issue, but will not enter into a debate. And finally, once a decision has been made about the application you are in attendance for, you are free to leave the meeting. However, you are more than welcome to remain and observe the discussion of other applications if you so wish. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Kayla. Okay, so the first item we have is a variation order, and it is number 35 of 2026 at 593 Birch Grove Street, and I'm going to turn it over to the planner to walk us through that one, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, for sure. So this is the variance application.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
We have to open the,
Yeah, we
sorry,
have to
you're
open
right.
the
This
hearing.
one, no, sorry, this one.
oh, this one is open.
It's open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
Make sure.
resolution. There is a resolution.
Okay,
Whereas the public hearing for variation order 35/2026 was adjourned at the April 28th, 2026 meeting of council. And whereas council requested the issue be brought back to May 26th meeting of council, therefore be resolved variation 35/2026 be brought forward.
can I have a mover, please? Counselor Strang, Counselor Boulanger seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Now I'll ask Valentina to walk us through that, please.
For sure, Madam Mayor, thank you. So that application been tabled from April 28th for some new information and clarifications. So we've got some from the applicant. And it's been replicated in my report too. And the main question that actually council, you've been asking from the previous public hearing, it's what for that would be used and whatever, if it's gonna be habitable space too, so it's all being reflected in the report. Let's continue with that. So location, it's 593 Beach Road Street. And the purpose of that application is to increase the building height, combine accessory unit area, and reduce the building separation distance to allow a detached garage to be constructed on the subject property. As per zoning bylaw of San Clemente in SR seasonal residential development, the building height maximum is supposed to be 18 feet and they're proposing 25.17. Building separation is supposed to be 10 feet minimum and they're proposing 8.6 feet. And combined unit area for any accessory structure is supposed to be 800 square feet and they're proposing 2120 square feet. Here we can see the location map of the subject property and a site plan for the proposed garage, right here. And some floor plans for the future garage. The applicant clarified that the second floor for the garage would be used as storage. And you can see it here too. And conditions of approval, should council wish to approve this application, RFD recommends the following conditions. This variance is limited to what has been presented. Any other changes will require new variance approval. Applicant only obtains all required permits from us and municipality if required. Applicant only to pay any outstanding taxes, fines, or fees to RM. Applicant only to remove a gazebo and deck or landing as outlined within the letter of intent between the main dwelling and the proposed garage. Applicant owner will not be able to use an accessory structure as a habitable space, and it is to be used for the personal storage only. And applicant owner to provide a report from the land surveyor that all accessory structures have been corrected and placed correctly on the proposed roll number 171400. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you for that, Valentina. Any questions from council to the planner? Is the applicant in the audience this evening? Okay, is council ready to or I should ask, is anybody else in the audience who wishes to speak on this application this evening? Not seeing any hands be raised or anybody moving from their chair. Go ahead, Councillor Sutherland.
Is this the one, where the washer was being built in the second story? I didn't hear that to bring it up, I just wondered if that was the one.
I'm not sure, yeah, that one?
Yes, it is with the high loft, and we were questioning about habitable space, yes, right.
Yeah, we got an email indicating the premises of the second floor is strictly for storage. A bathroom is there so that people can use that restroom instead of the main dwelling when they come to visit. The majority of the time, people are outside enjoying the fire and watching the lake. To have less people come through the house and bring in all the bugs, the better. We lost our outhouse in the storm almost a decade ago. That's the email that we've got from the applicant.
Go ahead, Councillor
No,
Sutherland.
their applicant's not here, but I'm just, I don't know, just a little curious about this washroom on the second story, and also why is it being built in the second story, not just on the main floor? Like, it's almost as if it could be habitable from time to time. That was gonna be my question.
Okay,
I'm just a little, not sure of this.
okay, thank you for that. Anybody
Thank
else
you.
have any comments? Go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
Just further to Councillor Sutherland, it says washroom, like, is there a shower, bathtub? You don't know the answer to that, right?
All right,
Cause if it's a full washroom, then yes. I'm wondering the same things.
Go ahead, Councillor Belanger.
If the applicant wants to put an application like this but not attend tonight to give us information we need, how are we supposed to make a decision? So I would table it and say, if you want to talk about the bathroom, come and attend the meeting.
I agree.
Okay,
What's not allowable anyways is.
well, I think if you wanted it perhaps on the main floor, you could consider it with some conditions, but when you're putting it on the second floor, it seems to me a little bit that they're gonna be using that building for more than just storage. So, and without the applicant being here, it's very hard for us to know and make a decision that may or may not affect the property, so. Go ahead, Sue.
I just had one question and ask if the planning board actually contacted the resident, because we did carry it over because he wasn't here last time.
This is his email that I write right now.
Okay, so he was asked to attend.
He was contacted about I took it as he was contacted about the question and he answered, but he still chose to not attend.
Maybe for good reason.
Yeah, so could we pass it without the washroom, taking the washroom out? And then it'd be up to him if he wants to continue, I guess, or whatever. He's looking to build this building, I would take, right?
Yeah.
So,
Go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
Well, we do have a condition that says that it's not to be used as habitable space. But it would still be nice to see the person here, so we could ask that question.
So what is the wish of council? Hold it over or
Yeah.
proceed? Hold it over?
I'd like to.
Yeah, we don't have the right information,
Okay, and,
enough information. so-
right, and I would suggest if RRPD is going to get a hold of the applicant, I would strongly suggest to him or her that they attend the next council meeting so that the questions that council has can be answered. Okay, do you have a resolution to carry this over, Heather?
Then, sorry, Madam Mayor, then you need to adjourn it, sorry, to the next public hearing with a date,
Okay,
for you to have more information,
June
and not to close the public hearing.
right.
Thank you. Be adjourned.
To the
23rd then?
23rd of June.
Resolve the public hearing for variation order 35/2026 be adjourned to the June 23rd, 2026 meeting of council and the regular session of council be reconvened.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Strang, Councillor Belanger seconds. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, call the question, all in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Okay, the next application we have is variation order number 38 of 2026 at 6356 Henderson Highway. And I'll hand it, we have to go into variation board, so I'll get that resolution going, please.
Resolve the regular meeting be adjourned and the public hearing be open for variation order 38/2026.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Belanger, Councillor Bazarowicz seconds, all in favor, opposed, carried. And I'll turn it over to Valentina to walk us through this one, please.
For sure, thank you, Madam Mayor. So yeah, this is a variance application 038/2026 located on 6356 Henderson Highway. And the purpose of that application is to decrease the separation distance of an accessory structure to a principal dwelling in order to allow a sunroom to be constructed on the subject property. As per zoning law of St. Clements in RR rural residential zone, detached accessory building shall be located at the minimum of 10 feet clear of all projections. And the separation distance is 4.66 between accessory structure and the principal dwelling. This is what they proposing. So here we can see allocation map of the subject property. And applicant site plan here in Garin. You can see that separation distance that we're talking about, they're too close. And conditions of approval. Should council wish to approve this application, RB recommends the following conditions. This variance is limited to what is being presented. Any other changes will require new variance approval, and applicant obtains all required permits from us, the municipality if required. Applicant not pay any outstanding taxes, fees, or fines or fees to RM of St. Clements. Applicant not to address any concerns from any public transportation and infrastructure if required. And applicant not to confirm the grade setting with Manitoba Transportation and Infrastructure, hydrologic forecasting and water management. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you for that. Any questions to the planner from council? Is the applicant in the audience this evening? Have you anything that you would like to add to your application this evening?
Nothing that's, I guess not in what I'm seeing, what you present here, but I'm open to any questions.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant? Okay, I have another name on my list here, Brad DeSerrano.
That's myself.
Oh, that's yourself. Okay, are you the applicant then?
I am the applicant on behalf of the homeowners. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. So the homeowners are Aaron and Nicole. Did you have anything that you wanted to add to the application?
Nothing beyond that.
Nothing, okay. Okay, if council is ready to deal with this application, if we could move out of the variation board and we can see if we can move it forward.
Resolve the public hearing for variation order 38, 2026 be closed in the regular session of council meetings.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, Councillor Horvath seconds, any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, call the question, all in favor, opposed, that is carried. Okay, if we want to move this forward, if we could have the resolution, please.
Whereas the applicant owner of tax roll number 100 legally described as lot 1, plan 39855 and located at 6356 Henderson Highway has made application for variation number 38, 2026. Variation separation distance between principal dwelling and accessory structure 10 feet to a separation distance between principal dwelling and accessory structure to 4.66 feet. The purpose is to decrease the separation distance of an accessory structure to a principal dwelling in order to allow for a sunroom to be constructed on the subject property. Therefore, be resolved, variation order 38, 2026 be approved with the following conditions. 1, this variance is limited to what has been presented in the application. Any further changes, replacement, or additions that are not in substantial conformance with the application would require new approval. 2, applicant owner obtains all required permits from the Red Bunny District and municipality if required. 3, applicant owner pay any outstanding taxes, fines, or fees to the RM of St. Clements. 4, applicant owner to address any concerns from Manitoba Transportation and Infrastructure if required. 5, applicant owner to confirm the grade setting with Manitoba Transportation and Infrastructure, hydrologic forecasting and water management, and approval shall expire if not acted upon within 12 months of the date of making.
Thank you for that. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Spicer, second, please. Councillor Bazarowicz, any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Okay, the next application we have on our docket this evening is variation order number 39. Yep, 39 of 2026. And if we could move back into the variation board.
Resolve the regular meeting be adjourned and the public hearing be open for variation order 39, 2026.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Horvath, Councillor Boulanger seconds. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. And I'll hand it over to Valentina to walk us through this one, please.
For sure, thank you, Madam Mayor. So this is the variance application video 39. Can I proceed?
Sorry, Valentina.
Yeah, for sure. 2026, located on 23 Shannon Crescent, and purpose of that application is to increase the maximum combined floor area of the accessory buildings and the number of accessory buildings to allow for construction of the accessory building and subject properties. And for zoning law of San Clemente in SR seasonal residential zone, maximum combined floor area supposed to be 800 square feet, and they're proposing 944 square feet. And number of accessory buildings supposed to be 2, and they're proposing 3. Here we can see subject property location map and some site plan from the applicant with a proposed garage placement right here at the right section. And conditions of approval. Should council wish to approve this application, the RTD recommends the following conditions. This variance is limited to what is being presented. Any other changes will require new variance approval. Applicant obtains all required permits from us and municipality if required. Applicant will pay any outstanding taxes, fines, or fees to RM of San Clemente. And applicant owner will not be able to use the accessory structure as a habitable space and it to be used for the personal storage only. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you for that. Any questions to the planner on this application? Okay, is the applicant in the audience this evening? Do you have anything that you wanted to add to your application at this point
No, we
in
just came
time?
so we could answer any questions.
Okay, anyone else in the audience wanting to speak on this application? Okay, if council is ready to deal with it, we'll come out of the variation board and we'll see if we can move it forward for you.
Resolve the public hearing for variation order 39/2026 be closed in the regular session of council meeting.
Mover, please, Councillor Bazarowicz. Second, please, Councillor Belanger. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And can we have the resolution for this one, please?
Whereas the applicant owner of tax roll 688055 legally described as lot 3, block 4, plan 18163 and located at 23 Shannon Crescent has made application for variation order number 39/2026 to vary the combined floor area 800 square feet max to a combined floor area of 44 square feet. Number of accessory buildings 2 max to a number of accessory buildings 3. And the purpose is to increase the maximum combined floor area of accessory buildings and the number of accessory buildings to allow for construction of an accessory building on the subject property. Therefore, be resolved variation 39/2026 be approved with the following conditions. 1, this variance is limited to what has been presented in the application. Any further changes, replacement, or additions that are not in substantial conformance with the application will require new approval. Applicant owner obtains all required permits from the Red River Planning District and municipality if required. Applicant owner pay any outstanding taxes, fines, or fees to the RM of St. Clemente. Applicant owner will not be able to use the accessory structure as habitable space and is not used. And it is not to be used for personal storage. Is to be, right?
Is to be.
Yeah, can you change that?
Yep.
Approval shall expire if not acted upon within 12 months of the date of making.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Councillor Horvath, Councillor Spicer seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Okay, moving on, the next application we have is variation order number 41 of 2026. And if I could have a resolution to move into variation board.
Resolved, the regular meeting be adjourned and the public hearing be open for variation order 41/2026.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Bazarowicz, Councillor Horvath seconds. All in favor, opposed, carried. And Valentina, if you could walk us through this one, please.
For sure. Thank you, Madam Mayor. So this is the variance application, 41/2026, located on 15 Old River Road. And the purpose of that application is to increase combined floor area for the accessory structures and decrease the separation distance between accessory structure and the main dwelling as a part of the conditions of the related subdivision, as 2631-34, been approved before. So as per zoning law of San Clements in RS Service Residential Zone. Combined floor area and maximum for all accessory structures supposed to be 800 square feet, and they're proposing 812. And separation distance supposed to be 10 feet, and they're proposing 3.6. Here we can see the subject property and their location. And also the SAM, subdivision application map that we can see all those structures right here. Also, as per an applicant, those two metal sheds would be removed from the property. So that would be as a part of the condition for the subdivision too. And conditions of approval, should council wish to approve this application, the RPD recommends the following conditions. This variance is limited to what has been presented. Any other changes will require new variance approval. An applicant will obtain all required permits from us and the municipality if required, and applicant will need to pay any outstanding fees, fines, or taxes to RM of St. Clements. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you for that. Any questions to the planner? Go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
So just for clarity, these are existing.
Yeah.
So we're just making it legal. What's there?
2 from 4
Yeah,
would be removed
yeah,
as a metal and not used, and those 2 they want them to remain, that's why we need that variance.
yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I believe that the applicant is on Zoom. Did you have anything that you wanted to add to your application at this point in time?
I didn't put it on at this time, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is there anybody else in the audience who wishes to speak on this application? Okay, if council is ready to deal with it, we will move it forward and see where it goes.
Resolve the public hearing for variation order 41/2026 be closed in the regular session of council reconvened.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Horvis, Councillor Boulanger seconds, all in favor, opposed, and that is carried. And the resolution to move forward.
Whereas the applicant owner of tax roll 35500, legally described as River Lot 287, Parish of St. Andrews, Plan 3392 and located at 15 Old River Road, has made application for variation order number 41/2026 to vary the combined floor area 800 square feet max to combined floor area 812 square feet max. From separation distance 10 feet max to separation distance 3.6 feet. The purpose is to increase the combined floor area for the accessory structures and decrease the separation distance between the accessory structure and principal dwelling as part of the conditions in related subdivision S26/31/34 application. Therefore, be it resolved, variation order be approved with the following conditions. This variance is limited to what has been presented in this application. Any further changes, replacement, or additions that are not in substantial conformance with the application will require new approval. 2, applicant owner obtains all required permits from the Red River Planning District and the municipality if required. And 3, applicant owner to pay any outstanding taxes, fines, or fees to the RM St. Clements. Approval shall expire if not acted upon within 12 months of the date of making.
Thank you for that. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Strang, second, Councillor Spicer. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. All in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Okay, moving on to variation 43 of 2026, and if we could move back into variation board, please.
Resolve the regular meeting be adjourned and the regular. Hold on, and the public hearing be open for variation order 43/2026.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Bazarowitz, second, please. Councillor Sutherland, all in favor, opposed, carried. And I think Valentina, if you can go ahead, or is Sue presenting on this one?
Doesn't matter, I'll
You
present, yeah,
Okay.
I'm ready to present. If
Okay.
there are any questions, then yes. that's
Yes,
just
okay,
it.
thank
That's
you.
just for her.
Yeah,
Okay, So this is a variance application, DO 43, 2026, located on a 462 Nanton Road. And purpose of that application is to increase the combined unit area and number of accessory structures in order to allow for a new garage to be constructed on the subject property in RR Rural Residential Zone. As per zoning law of San Clemente, in that zone, combined unit area of all accessory structures supposed to be 1,280 square feet, and number of accessory structures supposed to be 2, and they're proposing 1,400 square feet combined accessory building area and number of accessory buildings 3. Here we can see the location map of the subject property and applicant's site plan indicating the future garage location. They also gonna remove the secant to the south of it, as per that applicant's plan and conditions of approval. Should council wish to approve this application, RPD recommends the following conditions. This variance is limited to what has been presented. Any other changes will require new variance approval. Applicant owner obtains all required permits from us and municipality if required. Applicant owner pay any outstanding taxes, fines or fees to RM of San Clemente, and applicant owner will not be able to use an accessory structure as a habitable space and is it to be used for a personal storage only. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you for that. Any questions to the planner? Go ahead, Councillor Sutherland.
Yeah, the garage, what is its regular height? What is the height of the garage?
It's a 14-foot high wall. And I don't believe, oh yes, they show, 20.10 inches for the total overall height.
Okay, so there's not a second floor in that garage or anything, is there? No.
No,
Okay. Thank you. That's pretty hard.
Okay, anything else from council? Okay, is the applicant in the audience this evening? Do you have anything that you'd like to add to your application this evening?
I don't think so. I think it's laid out there pretty good, but if you have any questions, by all means.
Well, I guess the one question that I kind of heard here is, why do you want that high of a building?
14 feet,
Oops.
like the ceiling height is
Okay,
14.
14 feet. Okay. And just so council is aware, and you did get this in your package, there was a support letter from one of the neighbors that was included in our packages, so. Okay, is there anybody else in the audience who wishes to speak on this application? Okay, if council is ready to deal with it, we'll close the public hearing and we'll see if we can move it forward.
Resolve the public hearing for variation 43, 2026 be closed in the regular session of council be reconvened.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Bazaroj, Councillor Boulanger seconds, all in favor, opposed, and that is carried. And if we can have the resolution to move this one forward.
Whereas the applicant owner of tax roll 309331 legally described as lot 7, plan 17217, and located at 462 Natton Road, has made application for variation order 43, 2026 to combine the combined unit area of accessory buildings from 1,280 square feet max to combined unit area of accessory buildings 1,400 square feet. From accessory buildings 2 max to number of accessory buildings 3. The purpose is to increase the combined unit area coverage of accessory buildings and increase the number of accessory buildings in order to allow for a 1,080 square foot accessory structure garage to be constructed on the subject property. Therefore, be resolved variation order 43, 2026 be approved with the following conditions. 1, this variance is limited to what has been presented at in this application. Any further changes, replacements, or additions that are not substantial conformance with the application would be required in approval. 2, applicant owner obtains all required permits from the Red River Planning District and the municipality if required. 3, applicant owner pay any outstanding taxes, fines, or fees to the Arms Lengths. 4, applicant owner will not be able to use the accessory structure as habitable space and it is to be used for personal storage only. Approval shall expire if not acted upon within 12 months of the date of meeting.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Counselor Strang, Counselor Sutherland seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. All in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Okay, moving on, we are at variation order number 46 of 2026, and I will hand it, oh no, we'll go into the variation board first.
Resolve the regular meeting be adjourned and the public hearing for variation order 46, 2026.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Pasarowicz, Counselor Corbus seconds, all in favor, opposed, carries. And I will turn it over to Valentina to walk us through this one, please.
For sure, thank you, Madam Mayor. So this is a variance application, VO 46, 2020. VO 46, 2026, located on 7568 Henderson Highway. And the purpose of that application is to increase the site coverage in order to allow for a single family dwelling to be constructed on the subject property. So as per zoning the law of St. Clements in RR, rural residential zone, the site coverage of each dwelling is supposed to be at least 10% maximum, and they increasing it to 13.45% maximum. Here we can see a location map of the subject property and some site plan and floor plans for a house for you to see. And conditions of approval, should council wish to approve this application, RFD recommends 2 standard conditions. This variance is limited to what is being presented. Any other changes will require a new variance approval, and applicant obtains all required permits from us and municipality if required. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you for that. Any questions to the planner from members of council? Okay, and I know the applicant is in the audience this evening. Was there anything that you wanted to add to your application, Mr. Fuchs?
There should be a deck to over 30 feet,
A deck? Okay,
It's not included.
not
Okay.
included.
Yeah, okay.
It's shown, sorry, it's shown on the site plan.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's on the back.
but we're not counting it for site coverage.
Okay, so he doesn't, we don't,
It's
okay.
excluded, yeah.
it's okay that
Excluded.
it's excluded from your site
Yeah.
area coverage.
Yeah,
It's only the house.
it's just the house. Yeah.
Yeah,
Decks, you cannot leave on the deck.
okay, so there's nothing else you wanted to add, Mr. Fuchs? Okay. Anybody else in the audience wish to speak on this application? The council is ready to move it forward. I'll ask for a resolution to come out of the variation board.
Resolve the public hearing for variation 46, 2026 be closed in the regular session of council reconvened.
Now, mover please, Councillor Belanger, Councillor Sutherland seconds, all in favor, opposed, carried. And if you could bring the resolution forward, please, Heather.
Yep, whereas the applicant owner of tax roll number 204400, legally described as River Lot 137, Parish of St. Andrews, Plan 3391, and located at 7568 Henderson Highway, has made application for variation order number 46, 2026, to vary site coverage 10% max to site coverage 13.45%. The purpose is to increase the site coverage in order to allow for a single-family dwelling to be constructed on the subject property. Therefore, be resolved variation order 46, 2026 be approved with the following conditions. 1, this variance is limited to what has been presented in this application. Any further changes, replacement, or additions would require new variance approval. And 2, applicant owner obtains all required permits from the Red River Planning District and municipality if required. Approval shall expire if not acted upon within 12 months of the date of making.
Thank you for that. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Corbus moves, Councillor Spicer seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Okay, moving on, we are down to, see you, Bill. We are down to variation order 49 of 2026.
Resolve,
Go ahead.
resolve the regular meeting be adjourned and the public hearing be open for variation order 49, 2026.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Counselor Strang, second. Counselor Horbis, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, and I'll turn it over, I believe, is Sue presenting on this one? No, Valentina is,
I will
okay.
present it all if there are any
Oh,
questions.
well, no, it's just that the way it's listed on here,
Oh.
it looks as if Sue
Sorry.
may be presenting, so that's why I asked, but go
Okay.
right ahead, Valentina.
I'm prepared, slides. Okay, thank you, Madam Mayor. So this is a variance application, 49, 2026, located in 7802 Henderson Highway. And the purpose of that application is to increase the combined unit area and the height of the accessory structure in order to construct detached garage on the subject property. In RA suburban residential zone, as per zoning law of San Clement's, combined unit area is supposed to be 1,200 square feet and maximum height is supposed to be 18 feet. And they proposing combined unit area for 18. Oh, let me, can I see? Yeah, 1,800 square feet maximum and height for 19 feet and 2 inches maximum. Here we can see a location map of the subject property and proposed shop. Sorry for that quality. We also have in that a little bit poor. I took a liberty to make it more detailed here, including the garage first floor to show and his location like right here. So that's a house, that's a pool, and that's a proposed shop here. That's the only accessory structure as for now that we have in here besides the pool, but it's not included in the combined floor area. So, conditions of approval. Should council wish to approve this application, RPD recommends the following conditions. This variance is limited to what has been presented. Any other changes will require a new variance approval. Applicant obtains all required permits from us and municipality if required. Applicant obtains to pay any outstanding taxes, fines, or fees to RM of San Clement's, and applicant owner will not be able to use the accessory structure as a habitable space and is to be used for storage only, and applicant need to meet any requirements from Manitoba Transportation or Infrastructure. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you for that. Any questions to the planner? Is the applicant in the audience this evening? Oh, sorry, go ahead, Councillor Spicer, sorry.
So just for clarity, the proposed buildings going in the front of the house towards the road.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, applicant is in the audience. Have you anything that you want to add to your application at this point?
Other than that, I'm just looking forward to moving to the area. I'm retired. And that's, I'm a car collector guy, so I'm not Jay Leno, but I like cars. I have a car, nice car collection. I look forward to moving to the area. The reason I'm building in front of my house is because my house is close to the water. And I stayed 3 or 50 feet away from the water's edge, just so I didn't have to do another variance.
Thank you for that. Anybody else in the audience wanting to speak on this application? I don't believe that there is. I will ask. Okay, if council's ready to move it forward, we can have the resolution to close the variation board.
Resolve the public hearing for variation order 49, 2026 be closed and the regular session of council be reconvened.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, Councillor Passero, seconds. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And if we can have the resolution for this variation.
Whereas the applicant owner of tax roll number 215550, legally described as River Lot 171, Parish of St. Andrews, Plan 2470, and located at 6802 Henderson Highway, has made application for variation order number 49/2026 to vary combined unit area 1280 square feet max to a combined unit area 1800 square feet from accessory height 18 feet max to accessory height 19 feet 2 inches. And the purpose is to increase the combined unit area and height in order to construct an accessory structure on the subject property. Therefore, be resolved, variation order 49/2026 be approved with the following conditions. One, this variance is limited to what has been presented in this application. Any further changes, replacement, or additions that are not in substantial conformance with the application require a new approval. Two, applicant owner obtains all required permits from the Red River Planning District and municipality if required. Three, applicant owner pay any outstanding taxes, fines, or fees to the Yard of St. Clements. Four, the applicant owner will not be able to use the accessory structure as habitable space and is to be used for personal storage only. And five, applicant owner to meet any requirements from Manitoba Transportation and Infrastructure. Approval shall expire if not acted upon within 12 months of the date of making.
And mover please, Counselor Spicer, second, Counselor Strang, any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question, all those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. And we can move on, I believe we have one more variation to do this evening.
Resolve the regular meeting be adjourned and
Thank you, Council.
the public hearing to be open for variation order 50/2026.
Can I have a mover please? Counselor Boulanger, Counselor Strang, seconds, all in favor, opposed, carried. And I will hand it over to Valentina to walk us through that one, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, for sure. So this is a variance application, we also six located on 974 Nanton Road. And the purpose of that application is to increase the number of accessory structures in order to construct a pool house on the subject property. So as per San Clemente zoning bylaw RR, rural residential zone, the maximum of accessory buildings supposed to be 2, and they're proposing to have it 3. Here we can see the subject property allocation map and applicant site plan with the exact placements of proposed pool house and some floor plans for the pool house for you to see, and conditions of approval. Should council wish to approve this application, RFP recommends the following conditions. This variance is limited to what has been presented. Any other changes will require new variance approval. Applicant owner obtains all required permits from us and municipality if required. And applicant owner to pay any outstanding taxes, fines, or fees to our San Clements, and applicant owner will not be able to use accessory structure as a habitable space and is to be for the personal storage only. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you for that. Any questions of the planner? I do believe the applicant is in the audience. Did you have anything you wanted to add to your application?
Presented perfectly.
Okay, thank you. If council is ready to deal with this one, we can come out of variation board and see if, go ahead, Councillor
just have
Spicer,
a
sorry.
comment. It's nice to see that there's a pool before the pool house.
I think we were all thinking that. Yes, I looked at that too and I thought, geez, that's really good. So, anyways, if we're ready to move it forward.
Resolve the public hearing for variation 50/2026 be closed in the regular session of council be reconvened.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Strang, Councillor Bazarowitz, seconds, all in favor, opposed, and that is carried. And if you want to bring that resolution forward, please, Heather.
Whereas the applicant owner of tax roll number 309246, legally described as Lot A, Plan 51888, and located at 374 Nat Road, has made application for variation order number 50/2026 to vary number of accessory buildings 2 max to number of accessory buildings 3. Purpose is to increase the number of accessory structures in order to construct a pool house on the subject property. Therefore, be it resolved, variation order 50/2026 be approved with the following conditions. One, this variance is limited to what has been presented in this application. Any further changes, replacement, or additions that are not in substantial conformance with the application would require new approval. Two, applicant owner obtains all required permits from the Red River Planning District and the municipality if required. Three, applicant owner pays any outstanding taxes, fines, or fees to the RSA Clements. And four, applicant owner will not be able to use the accessory structure as habitable space, and it is to be used for personal storage only. And approval shall expire if not acted upon within 12 months of the date of meeting.
Thank you for that. Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Belanger, second, please. Counselor Strang. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. All in favor, opposed, and that is carried. And I do believe that brings us to the end of our planning items for this evening. So I think there's still a couple of things that council has to deal with this evening, but for as far as planning goes, we're done. Take care. Yeah, take care.
I already sent the email to her.
Oh.
Yeah, why don't we tell the changes?
I don't know. Who's voting for those nominations for the community foundation?
Who's phone?
Who was it? Rachel. Okay, because I think there might have been a confusion because Helwer said that he had until June the 2nd to let us know.
Okay, I'll have to ask her.
Yeah, but David's been talking to him, so hopefully he'll.
You know, he said he's not gonna take it
Oh,
because there's not, saying he was gonna make his mind up tomorrow. Then I texted him back and said, you gotta know by tomorrow, and he says, I'm not taking it.
Okay.
So it's not even.
He's still got a couple days, not until the 28th.
Today's the
Then he said
26th.
tomorrow.
Well, yeah, we should have it tomorrow, so you can get everything over to them by the 28th.
Sounds great.
Right up.
So there's not any point in me asking Dave if you look like, and that list that you gave her today, there's not even any point in chasing all those people.
Well, it's unfortunate. We'll talk about it after we finish our last bit of the meeting here. As soon as Glenn gets back, we'll, I think we only have 2 items that we have to deal with yet.
Yeah. I see not, I think they're showing up, right?
What's that? Yeah, they're not on the paper talking about.
No.
I don't want to waste it to talk about that. It won't take us long to do this other.
Well, I gotta leave it anyways,
Why?
because of the legal thing.
I know, but it's gonna take us 2 minutes to pass the resolution. You can go have another muffin.
I don't need another muffin. I'm gonna spend 20 more minutes of my trip.
Okay, so we do only have a couple of items to deal with that were generated from our in-camera discussion. And the first one is the municipal incremental tax incentive. And I don't know if you want to have some discussion on that before we bring the resolution forward, or just bring the resolution forward and go from there. Pardon me?
We already did.
Yeah, we did have that discussion. Thank you, Valentina. You take care. Yeah, yeah, you too. Good night. Okay, so I guess on that one, Heather, you can bring the resolution forward.
Resolve council approve a 5-year graduated tax incentive framework in principle with 10223 Manitoba Limited. And further be it resolved, administration begin to prepare a tax increment incentive bylaw.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Councillor Belanger, Councillor Sutherland seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. And we have one more item, and I'm going to ask that Councillor Corbis,
Leave? Can I vote on that?
no? You didn't vote on the last one either. there, so, okay, bring this one
Well,
forward.
I'm in favor of it, so.
So. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and Kayla killed me with a long
Oh, yeah.
resolution.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We're, ready?
Yeah.
Okay, whereas the Red River Planning District in collaboration with the RMC Clements issued a request for proposal for consulting services to undertake a long-term planning study for Lebo Sediment Center. And whereas the purpose of the study is to identify key planning issues and provide a modernized planning framework for Lebo that aligns with current planning policies, regulatory requirements, the Red River Planning District Development Plan bylaw and the RMC Clement zoning bylaw. And whereas proposals were received from WSP, MRA Planning and Development, and CVLNS LP.
Civilians.
Is it
Civilians.
civilians? And whereas the proposals were reviewed based on scope fit, demonstrated experience, cost, consultation, methodology, work plan, project timeline, and overall ability to deliver a practical and implementable result. And whereas Red River Planning District has recommended that the project be awarded to civilians LP, whose proposal was identified as the best overall alignment with the project objectives, community engagement requirements, implementation focus, project scale, and cost effectiveness. Therefore, be resolved that Council of the RMC Clements support the recommendation of RRPD and award the consulting services contract for the development of a long-term planning solution for Lebo civilians, and be it further resolved that the subject, or that the project proceed at the proposed cost of $26,103, including GST and disbursements subject to any required administrative, budgetary, and agreement requirements. And be it further resolved that administration be authorized to take the necessary steps to proceed with the project in coordination with the Red River Planning District.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Counselor Spicer moves, Counselor Bazarowicz seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. All those in favor, opposed, that is carried. Okay, and if there is nothing else, we can adjourn and then we'll discuss that other item that we needed to discuss, so.
Resolve this meeting of council be adjourned at 7:02 PM.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Belanger, Counselor Sutherland seconds, all in favor, opposed, carried.